Hey there, my fellow lunatics, and welcome to Dakon's Madhouse. Hey there, lunatics, and today we got a little bit of a surprise patch from the devs and corekeeper. This is just a bug fix patch. There's no new content. There's not much here. Like I said, it's just a bug fix patch. So let's go over what they fixed. All right, so they fixed some text and translation issues. They did not fix any of the incorrect flavor text, like on the Hydra Tooth or a few other items that still have old flavor text from old abilities that aren't there anymore. But they did apparently fix some text and translation issues. I assume that that just means misspellings or the wrong words used or the wrong characters, that sort of thing. They've added small and large office crates from the abiotic factor crossover over to the creative mode menu, which is nice. And then from a bug fix standpoint, players in guest mode should no longer have Sulfossil Armor's set bonus trigger. That's good to know. I didn't know that Sulfossil Armor's set bonus could still trigger in guest mode. The offhand items are now usable while the mouse cursor is hovering over UI elements. Attacks are no longer interrupted when the mouse cursor is hovering over UI elements. The character stats window now displays explosive damage for weapons and items instead of the explosive damage increase stat. That's kind of nice. You can actually see it right here. I've got my grenade equipped, and I don't have an explosive set equipped, but just to take a look, we now see 312 to 380 explosive damage while I just have this one grenade equipped. That's great. That's going to make life so much easier. This is a good quality of life update. I'm glad we got this. Garden trowels no longer try to plant seeds on top of already grown plants. Oh, that's nice. I haven't been using the garden trowel that much, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people are using it. I haven't been doing much with crops lately, so I haven't been really using the garden trowel, so I haven't really experienced a lot of the bugs. But I did notice that one of its bugs that they patched out a while ago did come back. So let's see if that bug is still around. So what this garden trowel bug used to be is that if you have like little stalagmites installed anywhere in random spots, like I'll just place down 3 of them in this hole, and then you try to place down garden stuff over it, then it will fail. Let's see if that's actually true. So I've got a bunch of seeds: bomb pepper, heartberry, glow tulip, whatever. I got a bunch of them. And placing these down, and it's working for me. So hey, it looks like, even though they didn't talk about it in the patch notes, the bug where stalagmites were starting to block the garden trowel has been fixed again. So that's good to know. The high quality equipment skill should now work correctly, increasing the chance of equipment not losing durability as stated in its description. Large shell objects that cannot take damage no longer play the wobble effect when hit. Fixed a rare issue where roaming bosses could get stuck outside their designated biome. Bosses already affected by this issue should also find their way back. I remember this bug from a long time ago. I thought they had fixed it like around 1.0, but I guess it came back, or maybe they didn't fix it and I just stopped noticing it. But I'm glad to know that at least it is fixed now. Floricatas should no longer get indefinitely stuck in a state of running away from the player. I've actually experienced this bug myself a couple of times, and it definitely was weird when the Floricatas would spawn and just vanish as they just ran away. I'm like, hey, get back here. The left arrow key now works properly in the character creation screen. It didn't before? Wait, what do you need the left arrow key for on the character creation screen? Maybe it's a controller thing. I don't know. More items now glow when placed on tables. Any item that glows when held now also glows on tables. Cool. This would be things like the glow tulips, the golden glow tulips, a lot of, what else glows? Let me know what else glows, because I don't remember everything that glows in this game. The character information tabs, like character skills, souls, etc., now have consistent special effects behavior. Dark stone walls now display their intended color on the map. That's a pretty minor thing, but for people who like to make pixel art in corekeeper, that definitely matters. So for those of you who do that, your dark stone walls are now showing the proper color. The game no longer crashes when exploring areas in classic worlds. Rooms no longer spawn on top of important chests in the central chamber of Broken Core dungeons in the Forlorn Metropolis. So this was an incident that a lot of people were experiencing, where they'd show up at the Broken Core and they wouldn't find the chest that's supposed to have the items for the bow in it. And that was because another scene for the Broken Core dungeon was spawning kind of on top of it and overriding that chest. So now that's been fixed. That shouldn't happen anymore because you really need that second chest there if you want to get that achievement. Fixed an issue that prevented stackable items from being shift-clicked into tables and other inventories that only accept one item per slot. I know what that's referring to. So if you're trying to put something on a pedestal and only one item would go there, if you try to shift-click instead of putting the whole stack, it would only put one item on there like it's supposed to be able to do. And I guess it wasn't doing any of that before, so that's just a little quality of life thing, but it's definitely one of those things that when you're doing a lot of decorating, you'd notice it. If you're not doing a lot of decorating, you'll wonder why it's important. A player hitting Tower Shell, Giant Ammonite, or Conch Shell should no longer block other players to attack while in multiplayer. You know, I need to spend more time in multiplayer because there are some really interesting multiplayer bugs that I have never seen before, and that is definitely one of them. Added missing item description for Giant Mushroom and Amber Larva in Creative Mode UI. Ore and block pouches now accept snow blocks. That's nice. Bouncing projectiles should no longer be able to bounce off the same enemy multiple times in a row. Shift-clicking items from chests should now prioritize placing the items in pouches if possible. Oh, thank you. I can't tell you how many times I've put items in my inventory expecting it to go into the pouch, and it doesn't. It just goes into my main inventory box, and that'll be nice. Fixed an issue that was causing robot arms and electrical wires to flicker if placed in the same tile. That's an interesting set of updates and bug fixes, but there's a few bug fixes that I remember them telling me, oh, we have a fix for this, it'll be in the next patch, and it's not here. So I'm wondering, let's see if there was some silent updates to anything. Alright, so I've got my controller equipped, and there's a bug in controllers right now where if you're trying to move up and down on the controller like I'm doing here with the cursor, if you use the D-pad, it doesn't let you go above your inventory. Now, I'm using the analog stick right now, which is letting me go above the inventory and do everything like normal, which is typical for the analog stick. But let's see what the D-pad does. I'm going to move all the way down here. All right, now I'm using the D-pad, and I can't go up. The bug is still here. Why is this bug still here, guys? This should have been a high priority bug. The devs told me that they fixed this, and it would be in the next update. Well, the next update is now here, and this bug still persists. So either they decided to drop this fix for something else that they deemed a higher priority, or there's a bigger problem and they weren't able to fix it as quickly as they claimed they were. I hope it's the latter of the two, because if it's the first, I think that was a bad decision. This should be fixed. This should be a top priority fix. In fact, I personally think this D-pad issue deserves its own hotfix patch. Like, once it's fixed, even if you guys don't have any other fix in the game, fix this and patch it. Because controller issues are enough to turn players off and make them never, ever come back. And you don't want that. I really, really recommend, if any dev is watching this, prioritize the D-pad fix. So that's pretty much it, guys. Just a basic bug fix patch. It fixed a lot of important bugs, but it also didn't fix some really important bugs that I honestly thought they would have fixed by now. So that's a little disappointing, but at the same time, at least we did get something. I'm hoping that some of those more serious bugs get fixed in the next update, as I currently think that especially that controller bug really, really needs to be high priority for everybody, because that will absolutely turn people off on console. And I have already gotten reports from people on like Switch, especially, and even some PC players who prefer to play on controller, that they're just like, I'm not playing this game again until they fix their issues with controller and button mapping. So really, if there's devs paying attention, I really hope you guys are prioritizing controller, button mapping, and customability, and making all of that work, because that is something that is really, really important, especially for our console players. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. I hope you guys liked it. If so, please hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and I'll I'll catch you guys at the next one. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay crazy.